Thank you for joining us here on twitch.tv/The Robin Dandruff for the Hephaestus Challenge. I am sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend. You know him. He's been around quite often. He is the head of Cake, James Tiberius Kirk. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Dan. You always give me the most fabulous introductions.
Your name is James Tiberius Kirk. It's hard not to.
That is a true
You
statement.
are the leader of Cake.
Yes.
You are the single source of information. So, obviously, you have been paying very close attention to the Hephaestus Challenge and exactly what's been going on this first week of combat.
Yes, especially, of course, to my team.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into that, quickly give people a little introduction for those that don't know who you are and who Cake is.
Well, if you don't know what Cake is, you must have just bought the game because we are everywhere. We are a very, very large clan in the game. We were bigger, but we just had a, sort of clan revamp system in the game, and we had to reinitiate everyone. And, we're still getting our numbers back up there. But we're pretty unique amongst the field because we were founded on the concepts of friendship and fire as opposed to simply going out and winning. And we focus on creating a good community of people who are just fun to play around and just fun to be with because, it's a video game. You're there to have fun. And what's more fun than burning things is more or less our philosophy.
You like fire?
A little bit, a whole lot actually.
Are you guys like, if I just put a bonfire out in front of you, would you be okay?
I would be perfectly happy if you set me on fire.
Oh, well, in that case, have I got a deal for you?
See, fire just makes people happy.
Apparently, I don't understand it myself, but it happens. You guys, and I speak specifically about Cake, had a very good first week in the Hephaestus Challenge. You 5-0'd the Art of War.
Yes,
you knocked them out.
Yes, that is the first 5-0 victory has had since actually our opening on the competitive scene in the Baptism by Spire tournament months and months and months. So that was we won 5-0 our first match and then got destroyed matches 2 and 3 and have continued our streak of not winning 5-0 until just last weekend.
And that's not to say Art of War is bad at what they do. They practice pretty hard to get ready for Hephaestus.
We also practiced very, very hard. We've had, actually, this is the first time we've actually done, well, I don't want to say the first time, but we've done any sort of major practicing. Iron Fork, I mentioned this before, it was, set up as like a Cake social event, but it was also secondary for our pilots to practice against, just pubs and just generally working together. But then very shortly after, like we were just a couple Iron Forks in when they initiated the switch system, where the ships randomly scramble around the lobby after a match. And then it became a lot more casually oriented and we sort of lost that practice. And we just reinitiated that more, hardcore, well, not hardcore, but more competitive oriented practice for the Hephaestus Challenge.
Now, for those that have been experienced in the Guns of Icarus community, Cake is not known for being a hyper-competitive group like Ducks or Glowater Thralls are. It's not this constant and overwhelming focus on competitive level gameplay. It's a much more open, friendly environment.
Exactly.
What kind of initiated the change to get back into the competitive side of things? How'd that happen?
Well, I don't want to say one of the major gripes, but one of the major things we were worrying about is, whenever we got into a competitive scene, nobody likes losing week after week after week after week. Yeah, it was fun going on there and setting things ablaze, and that was, we had a good time with that, but it was just the defeat after the defeat after the defeat was really starting to grate on our competitive team's morale. So, I mean, there's still, we have a huge, the clan is divided into the organizers, the competitive, and the non-competitive members. So, we're not everyone. It's like, hey, if you're in Cake, you be here at this time or you are out of the clan. It's, the competitive scene is a volunteer organization where if you go, hey, I want to play competitively for you guys, you're like, all right, cool. We've got practice times going on here against these guys. Show up to as many as you can, get to know your pilots, get to know your crews, get to know your guns, get to know, the new patches and how everything feels now. And, we've just been, I mean, we've been focusing more, but we have not shifted away from our casual friendly roots, and the Iron Fork is still going to be running up nice and strong every Friday.
And Jacob, of course, runs that every single week. Very dedicated to that.
yes, he does.
He puts a lot of work into that.
He's great.
And speaking of individuals, you do have your officers. You have Jacob. You have
Mm-hmm.
Balana, who's been doing an amazing job of kind of helping get the competitive stuff going again.
Yes.
Are there any
Yes.
other officers you'd like to give credit to, real quick?
Well, yes, let me just pull up my handy dandy little list here. But while I'm doing that, I do want to give a shout out to Sir Morty, who were casting us last week. And
Yeah.
him and Imagine. Yeah, Morty was actually an organizer a little bit ago before he jumped off to go with Iris, and that's fine. We had a lot of cakes jump off on that, and we've been supporting Iris whenever we can. But I don't know, it was just cool to see. I don't want to say an ex cake, because he still flies with us often. And once a cake, always a cake.
I hear he does a lot of practices with you guys.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, he does. So I don't want to say former cake either, but a good friend. Coming up and casting us. It was fun.
Yeah, he did an amazing job too. I listened back to those recordings
Yes.
over on Imagine 42's stream. Those two did an amazing job. Morty really has stepped his game up when it comes to casting when he first started.
Well, here I artfully dodged your question. I'll hop back into it. The other officers we have on board, Fox and Melon, both of our pilots that week, are officers. That's not, I mean, that's coincidence. You don't have to be an officer to be a competitive pilot for Cake. But they're just great guys. They're good pilots. They're good cakes. So they're officers by. They help us out a lot in organization and stuff too. Tiberius the Third recently became an officer of ours. Let's see, obviously Balana, like you mentioned. Jacob, as you also mentioned. Sandy, he's lives in a time zone that makes it extremely difficult for him to attend competitive events.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, Xander recently also got very busy, so he can't do competitive stuff. But they're all helping out in the organizational group, and there's
Sure.
a lot of behind the scenes work that go into a game like we had.
Sure. Now let's actually go into your team makeup right now. You said your pilots are whom?
Fox or QFoxP, if you call him.
We call him Fox here. if you're Sammy, however, or Frogger, you call him QFoxP.
And he grits his teeth at us whenever he gets. Whenever we're watching a stream or talking about it, he's like, "That's not my name."
It's just Fox.
Of course,
It's
we
Fox.
tease him about it whenever we can, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah. Yes. And then your other pilot was Melon.
Melon McCrabanathi, yes.
Now, how are they structured? Do they have a few specific ships they'd like to focus on, and how do they like to structure their crews?
Well, I know Melon is a very aggressive pilot like I am. That's where we sort of connect. Although he's a little bit smarter about his aggressiveness. I just go, ship kill.
I am going to put my ship through their ship.
Excuse me while I go change my signature on a couple forums.
I'm gonna keep giggling here until you say something pertinent.
Well, all right. Melon's a little bit smarter about where he puts his ships through other ships.
There you go.
And Fox is a big thinker as well, and that definitely came together. You could see if you go back and watch the stream or the YouTube VOD, you can see the strategizing going on and the thinking and the talking going between them.
Yeah.
And it was they were a great pilot combination. They've practiced together, and they've gotten to know each other on a personal level and on a competitive level. And again, that showed.
Absolutely, I felt the synergy watching back your game against Art of War. I felt the synergy going on was absolutely exceptional. Of being able to communicate and work, make decisions at the moment.
Yeah.
That they needed to be made. There wasn't any kind of delay. There wasn't any kind of dawdling about. Really, it was decision making, it was action, and it was execution. It was perfectly formatted.
Yeah, and then that goes again to them, sort of getting to know each other, and knowing their crews too. Like I said, we come in and we practice as often as we can. And we had the long range, close range sort of thing, and so that proves you can't just like stick together like two pieces of a sandwich. For in terms of focusing fire, you got to sort of keep your distance from each other, but not too far. And I think they played it off really well.
They did an amazing job going up against the Art of Warfare. Now, coming up this week, you are going up against Sacrilege, a team that 5-0'd the Sky Invading Rhinos by somehow. Sky Invading Rhinos are a great team.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at our Skype group right now as we're talking about what we're gonna do. Zach, if you wanted to intimidate us, you're doing a really good job.
Again, Sack last week 5-0'd Sky Invading Rhinos. You're going up against them at 4:45 Eastern. So you don't have too long to wait, at least throughout the day.
We have enough time to get our affairs in order, our wills written, and kiss our families goodbye.
Well, having seen how Tropo uses Sacrilege, and really he does use Sacrilege as a weapon, he keeps them very tightly knit. Is there any specific way you feel like you're gonna be able to combat them?
We're gonna do our best to not die. That's at the top of our to-do list.
That's pretty good.
Number one is set them on fire. Number 2 is not die. So hopefully that our 2-stage battle plan. Oh, have I just revealed the battle plan on?
Oh no!
Oh no! They know.
No.
Oh, they know all of our secret cake plans of burning and not dying. All of our clan secrets are out to the world.
After that, you're taking on Sky Invading Rhinos next week, and after that, Zill's Merry Men, and then you get that bye week. You do actually get a break halfway through the competition.
Yes.
Is there any team that you're really looking forward to fighting, though, coming up here with the rest of the season right ahead of you?
The rest of the season? Oh, man. We always love scrimming Overwatch. Overwatch. We always joke that we're dating Overwatch. We've been good friends since their appearance. We were actually their opening match in the Flotsam. And I don't know, when we brought a double flamer Piri to fight them, they said pleasantly surprised. And I don't know, we've just been
I have some
friends.
bad news.
Uh-oh.
You actually, from the looks of things, you don't actually fight Overwatch.
Oh, no, we'll get to them in the finals.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see how it is.
Yeah, I assumed that was implied.
It should have been.
How did you not pick up on that, Dan?
I'm sorry. I apparently haven't had enough Mountain Dew today. That's my mistake. Beyond that, again, congratulations on an amazing first week. Good luck against Sacrilege. They're going to be a very tough fight for you guys, but I feel with your first performance being so strong, it's going to be a very good close match.
Yeah, so, we're definitely going to put our best foot forward again, and, we're looking forward to, Sac and getting to fight them. We haven't run into them much on the field before, so it's going to be fun times.
And how can people find out more about Cake?
Oh, right. Here's the fun stuff. We have actually got ourselves a website up and running at Cake Clan. That's all one word. .shivter .shivtr.com. You can go check us out. We've got a lot of information there, but some of it is open only to members. But that's easy enough. You just apply. There's a little application you got to fill out. You got to fly with some of us to make sure that you're nice and pleasant and cakey and delicious. And we've got get to read through the code of conduct, which don't be a dick.
You may have to be lit on fire a few times.
That's
it might be a requirement.
That's the secret initiation.
Oh,
that's the surprise.
That's a secret.
Why do you think you need to fly with people?
Right. Forgot about that.
Dan, you're spilling all my secrets.
No.
Now everyone knows that Cake really likes fire. What are we gonna do with ourselves now? All the secrets.
Switch to Gatlings.
Switch to Gatlings. Piercing damage all the time, every day.
Go the Fox direction and just throw Gatlings on every slot of every vehicle possible.
Sorry, we don't fly Galleons. There's not enough Gatling spaces.
Oh, no. You will figure out a way to take those medium guns off and smash Gatling cannons into those
Gatlings
slots.
just spinning together.
I'd watch that.
I would too, because it would be, what is happening right now?
This makes no sense.
Hacks, I call hacks.
I'm still waiting for the heavy Gatling cannon.
Oh,
there needs to be heavy Gatling cannon.
That's
just me. James Tiberius Kirk of Cake, you are the leader, and you have been so kind to sit down and take your time out for talking with us.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Happy birthday, Dan. Happy birthday, listeners. And happy birthday, Sac. We look forward to fighting you guys out there in the field.
Happy birthday to you as well, guys. You're watching twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show.